Wow. Hello, hello. Oh my God. Finally back with my favorite mic. To start with, Sasriyakal. Welcome to I'm a Brown Girl. My name's Amma. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I feel like I've just woken up with a lot of feelings. I feel like I've woken up on smoke and I want to talk about it. Before I start talking about today's episode, can we just talk about my hair? If you're watching, you can see that I have a new haircut. It's like a wolf cut and I've never had it this short. It's got some really nice length to it as well. So yeah, I really love it. I just woke up the other day and I had a fuck it moment and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to cut my hair. And I do usually cut my hair myself, but I've never cut it this short. And I was like, do you know what? I fucking love it. I think I look great. So yeah, I'll be rocking this for now and we'll see how it goes. I want to see what it looks like when I straighten it. And I've never had a fringe before. I've always said I want to have a fringe and I've never had a fringe before. So, I really like it. I think I rock it. So yeah, there's a few things I want to get off my chest just before I get into this episode in terms of traveling and post-traveling. I just feel weird being back. When I was traveling, there was quite a few times that I did feel homesick and I would be like, oh, I miss my home. I can't wait to use my shower. Like, I love my shower. It's quite big and the water pressure is just, do you know what I mean? So I had spent many months having like bucket showers and showering in very small, tight spaces. And, I just did miss home and a lot of my home comforts. But then now that I'm home, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I had this whole plan in my head that, oh yeah, when I come back, I'm going to be so grateful. I appreciate the UK so much. And now that I'm back, I'm having a hard time to appreciate it. Like, I like it here, but I'm not thrilled. And I don't know what it is because I don't know if I need to shake some ass. I don't know if I need a sound bath. I don't know if I need some adrenaline. I don't know what it is, but just something isn't clicking. I don't know if I'm the only one who's felt like this after traveling, but because this country is so fast paced, I can't help feel like I'm behind or like I'm doing something wrong or, like, oh my God, I need to get a job. Why have I not got a job? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I never thought like this when I was in India chilling with villagers, spending like 3-4 hours in the sun, eating roti, drinking jar. I don't know. I just feel like I can't help this feeling of like I have a never ending to-do list. Like I need to be doing something today. I need to be productive. So yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one who's felt like that after traveling, but yeah, if you felt like that, let me know. Let me be the one to tell you that if you think you can just run away from your problems with traveling, that is not the answer because when you come back, those problems will still be here. To be honest, I think it's a lack of structure that I have right now because I was sick and my wisdom tooth was giving me grief. So having come back from a wonderful time straight into sickness and feeling like, oh my God, I've got laundry. I need to wash everything in my kitchen. I need to deep clean my house. It was a lot to do right after traveling. And now I'm just like, oh, I need to wake up and go to the gym and I need to do this and I need to do that. And I have 100 things to deal with. And I don't know. I feel like I need to just have a day where I can sit down and be like, cool, this is what needs to get done, go through every single one, and that is that. But then when I was traveling, obviously, I didn't have as many responsibilities as I had when I'm now back home because I still had things to do whilst I was away and they got done in a timely manner. So I don't know, like, am I just being hard on myself? I don't know. You can even hear like with how fast I'm talking. Why am I talking so fast? I need to slow down because I feel so like chaotic. Like, girl, calm the fuck down. Oh, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when I came back from traveling, I felt really out of place in terms of social interactions. So the day after I landed, I had to go to Westfield to sort my SIM card out because it wasn't working. So even talking to the sales assistant, I was like a bit slow, I guess. And I'm not slow. Like, I'm very good at talking to people. I'm very sociable. I'm a people person. So it was really weird because I was like, I've spoken Punjabi for 3 weeks straight and I've come back to the UK and now I'm speaking English. And I just feel really out of place. I don't know how else to explain that. But if you've felt like that, let me know. The good thing is I'm a lot less worried since coming back from traveling in terms of, getting a job or just general life stresses. I feel like before traveling, I used to be a lot more of a nervous wreck. I wasn't that great at dealing with stress. Even though I thought I really wasn't, because there were a few situations when I was traveling that were very high pressure and had a lot of stress involved that now I feel like I can handle a lot more, which is a good thing. But despite feeling quite lost before I traveled, I still feel as lost, but in a different way. It's just that I'm less fearful. This feeling of feeling lost is a lot less scarier to me, and I look forward to figuring it out. So thank you for listening to my little mini intro rant about the feelings I've had post-traveling. I think I'll definitely do an episode that talks a lot more about it in a lot more depth. But for today, what I actually want to talk about is my 2024, because what the fuck was that year? And I don't want it to be like oh my God, this is a recap of 2024 and this is what I did in every single month and this is some motivational advice for every single month and this is what you can learn. No, I don't know what was in the air. I don't know what karma or debts I was repaying, but fuck me, that was one hell of a year. But the reason I want to keep it to just 3 simple points is because I feel like I don't want to keep talking about 2024 because that year was really tough, as well as after every 4 months throughout the 12 months, there was a significant lesson. So hopefully you can relate or learn something from it. The first 4 months of 2024 was just hell for me. And I find it really difficult to remember the positives, because I did have positives because I saw my friends, I did a lot of activities. There were definitely good moments, but at the same time, I was in a company that I hated, that had a bullying culture, they had poor organization, really poor management, and just on a whole, it was bad enough, but it got a lot worse. Then the following month, I came out to my dad. And then the 2 months after that, I just continued getting bullied at work and poorly processing what the fuck just happened. The main lesson I took from that was intuition. Listen to your intuition about a person or an environment and how it makes you feel. And if you're unable to listen to your feelings, then look at your physical health. The difference in my appearance, my skin, my diet, my health, my physical, my mental health, everything completely changed as soon as I left that environment. But yeah, listen to your intuition. And I think the good thing is that I know it was a lesson learned, that in the future, if I see similar patterns in a certain environment or person or a job, I know that place isn't for me. After that, May, June, and July got even worse. I was involved with the police as a victim. I didn't do anything wrong. Then my job got even worse, where I thought one manager was bad enough, but then I had another manager who was my new manager, and I thought he was great, but no, he was literally a wolf in sheep's skin. Like, thinking about him gives me some level of PTSD. Like, nah, some people are scary in terms of how two-faced they can be, because he was just something else. Anyway, my relationship with my parents got even worse, so that's a bonus, but also not a surprise. And then to top things off, I finally got fired from my job, thank God. But that time was honestly just a blur to me. The lesson that I learned was time does not stop for anyone. It keeps moving regardless of whatever is happening in your life. I find that we get caught up in the future or keep dwelling on the past. So that means you should make the most of the time that you have rather than waiting for the perfect moment to happen. The last 4 months of 2024 were interesting. I think I had a lot of highs and lows in terms of the stress that I experienced before traveling. I had to take on a business, which meant I was doing 101 things, paperwork, emails, so much work involved before having to go and travel. And make sure that everything was set up and running before I left was a lot to deal with. My finances were also questionable before I traveled because I'd lost my job. I had planned to travel. So that was very stressful to make sure I had enough money. If anyone wants me to do a video in terms of like finances, how much I spent, or how much things cost in other countries, let me know. I'm happy to do that. And now looking back, Vietnam saved me. It pushed me to stop having such a worry mindset, as I said before, because I used to be such a nervous wreck. This is the first time in a very long time I'm doing an episode where I don't have a script, because most of my episodes, I do have like a vague script. But today I don't. I really wanted to keep it candid. If I had to give you my honest, my raw, genuine, truthful lesson that I learned at the end of 2024, it would be the fact that stop giving a fuck about what anyone thinks. I've always thought like that, but I think backpacking solidified it for me. No one gives a shit about what you wear. No one cares about, your past, the things you've done, whatever, your wrongs, your rights, and they just see you for you and they choose to engage with you. You realize no one really cares because they just want to see you for you. I do already put myself out there in terms of this podcast, but even with my Instagram stories, I've never been that candid. I've never just, recorded, post, whatever. But traveling really helped me to just do that and have like an online diary of my time traveling. But even aside from social media, don't have this pressure of feeling like you need to fit into someone else's box or wanting to seek the approval of other people or wanting to be validated or even wanting to be validated by your parents. Because before I went traveling, my dad was like, "Oh, why would you want to go to Vietnam? You don't know anyone there. Oh, it seems like such a waste of time and money." And then after I sent him pictures, he was like, "How do I get there? How did you do that?" So, after I started to realize that I don't need to care about other people's thoughts, the confidence boost that I had in terms of my self-esteem was astronomical. The amount of trauma I went through in 2024 was just unbelievable. And it definitely affected my self-esteem, especially with my stupid manager. I was so underconfident in my ability to perform, as well as just the way I look. And I think I spoke about it on another episode, but now having come back, I'm just like, how dare I feel like that? How dare someone make me feel like that? I could never go back to that ever again. And I'm so glad I cut my hair because hair carries memories and some level of trauma. And just having cut it off, I feel so much lighter. And despite it being rainy and miserable outside, I still feel like I have a zest for life. So if I had to summarize that, I'd still put it as stop giving a fuck about what people think. No one actually cares. Be you, be original. If you've got an idea, go and pursue it. There's no point of just waiting around for the perfect time or the perfect moment because that perfect moment will never happen until you just do it. In terms of an end of episode check-in, I feel really good. I think definitely the haircut has helped. I'm almost recovered from my toothache. I really miss my family back home and I can't wait to revisit. I've also come to the conclusion that I think it's human nature to never be satisfied. This whole idea of moving abroad and just, starting a new life on a whim isn't for me. And I say that because there were moments when I was in Vietnam, especially at the end of my travels, where I did feel like, I couldn't do this forever. I miss home. So overall, it might just be human nature that I will never be satisfied. So if I know that, the best thing to do is have travel planned throughout the year, which satisfies me enough to not feel like I need to keep running. But I don't know, we'll see where this year takes me. I think some of the priorities of this year is definitely expanding this podcast, getting a job that I enjoy and feel passionate about. I could just never do a job that I don't find remotely interesting. Like, I need to have some level of passion in that job to remain and be dedicated and interested. Anyways, I gotta go now because I need to run to my mum's house. It's her birthday today. That is a topic/conversation I need to talk about because before I traveled, I was basically no contact with her. And it's not that I'm not no contact with her. It's just, I'm not the same person as I was before I left. And a lot has changed, actually. So I will talk about that more later on. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you thought. It was a lot more candid. It was a little bit more chaotic. It was just a little bit more about me and my life and how I'm genuinely feeling. And I love that I have this platform to be able to do that. But I would also love to hear your thoughts. Usually I always put out like an Instagram poll of what do you want to hear about? But today I was like, nah, I've got things to talk about that I need to get off my chest. Make sure you guys share, like, subscribe, whatever, share it to your family, your mom, dad, dog, whoever it is. But on that note, I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Sat Shri Akal. Bye.